Yes, you read that right. I went from making six figures selling crystals to, well, I'll tell you what, but you gotta watch the video to hear all the juicy details. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let's do it. Little tip, don't buy staplers from the Dollar Tree. I had to go out and get a stapler because I got these really cool jewelry cards that I use to put like my crystal necklaces on, but you need to staple them shut. Um, and I have a Dollar Tree like right by my house. So I thought, why not just go to the Dollar Tree? It'll be cheap and it'll probably get the job done. It doesn't get the job done. So, little tip for the day, don't buy staplers at the Dollar Tree. All right, bear with me. This is my first real video on YouTube, and I'm not very good at just talking to nobody. So, there's probably going to be some pauses. There's probably going to be lots of ums. I'm probably going to look ridiculous because I'm nervous. I also have ADHD, so I'm moving around a lot. So please bear with me. Like the title says, I went from making six figures selling crystals on the internet. Not just the internet, I did in person stuff too. And I stopped. I didn't stop selling crystals. Let's just put that out there. I'm still selling crystals. I'm still the owner of Moonwater Minerals. I love it. I'm never going to stop. That's just a fact. It's not going to happen. But I did hit a point where I was making very, very good money. I can go into telling you how I made all that money. So I've been in business a while, but I officially became an LLC in 2020, like right as the pandemic was kind of starting. I was active duty in the Army and I was pregnant with my third kid. And the Army decided to let me work from home as much as I could. My job can't really be done from home, but they let me stay home since I was pregnant and considered high risk. Well, that just gave me all the opportunity to put all of my time into Moonwater Minerals. So I was doing live sales. I was buying inventory several times a week. I was getting new crystals in constantly. I put so much effort into social media. Um, I had time to look for events and buy the different things that I needed for my events. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume on my phone off real quick. But yeah, so the pandemic was actually great for my business. It really helped me to um, build up clientele and reputation. Um, so yeah, after about not even a year, actually, I was only in official business for a couple months. And then I actually got out of the military. My time was up. I served my time. I decided I wanted to stay home with the kids. So we packed up the family and we bought a beautiful house in Pennsylvania. My husband got a great job. So I was able to experiment with Moonwater Minerals and see how far I could push it. Um, I pushed it. I pushed it real far. I did. I was going live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok every day. Um, Multiple times a day. I was doing claim sales, which I no longer do, which maybe that's for another video. Claim sales are when you have the product on the table and you show the items, and then people in the comments will say claim or sold. And then at the end of the show, you take their information and you send them an invoice. I don't do that anymore. But I was doing that. And while there were lots of people who didn't pay, which is a huge issue in the industry, not just the crystal industry, but all online claim sales. It's a huge issue. Many of the people did pay. Um, there were times when I was shipping out 50 packages a day or more. Um, I was making about $2,000 a day, and the way I do my business finances, I personally keep 51% of that as my paycheck. The rest goes to taxes, the rest goes to expenses. Again, that's another video. I'm really passionate about small business finance. Let me know if you want to see a video about that. Anyway, it was great. It was amazing. I was busy, um, making good money. Um, I mean, nights were long because the live shows at night got pretty crowded. I was very tired. At that point, I had a small child. He was probably like 1 at the time. Maybe as he started turning 2. So I had to have my older son, who he's 14 now. He was probably like 12, 13. He was watching the baby, and of course, I was paying him to do that. And it started to become excessive. But that's not why I stopped. Um, I actually didn't want to stop. The economy changed, and while I was making good money, um, many other people were not, and people stopped buying crystals. It didn't affect me though. I was still selling crystals. Many of my many of my buyers changed, so a lot of my regulars stopped being regulars, and then I had some new people because when you're live on TikTok, you're constantly getting seen by new people. But I lost a lot of regulars, and that kind of made me sad because I became like friends with them. But when I got out of the military, I lost TRICARE, which is the health insurance for military people. We got the health care through my husband's job. He was working at Amazon at the time. But we were paying for it. We were paying a lot for it. So when you're in the military, you basically don't have any deductibles. You don't like you could go to the emergency room for free. I had all 3 of my kids for free. Um, so having to pay for medication, having to pay copays when you go to the doctor, that was all new to me because I had been in the military since I was 17. So I never really had um like regular healthcare. I was kind of spoiled in that way. So seeing how all of these new expenses were coming up and my husband's paycheck got smaller, because we had to pay for dental, healthcare, vision, all the stuff that the military covered. It didn't anymore because I wasn't in. Well, I was kind of joking around with my husband one day and I said, I should just go back into the army. Like the economy is changing and it's scary. Um, I should just go back in. I had always been on the fence about going back into the National Guard um, for retirement purposes, because I had done about 14 years. And if I did like 6 more, I could retire in the National Guard. Um, so I was like, well, I could do that. Like, why would I throw my retirement away? That's crazy. Um, and then that thought kind of grew in my head, and I was like, you know, the military is a good deal if you're okay with that kind of lifestyle. Um, so I joked around about going back on active duty because on active duty, your house is paid for. Um, if you decide to live on base, if you don't decide to live on base, they give you BAH, which based on your area, it can pay for your entire mortgage or rent. And it goes up based on how many dependents you have, where you live, yada yada yada. Um, and at the time, we had just built a big, beautiful house that we were paying a lot for. Actually, we still have the house. We are renting it out and in the process of selling it. but that's for another day. But yeah, that house was basically my dream house. So the last thing I wanted to do was leave it. Um, I didn't want to leave my 3 acres of land. I didn't want to leave, the big, beautiful porch, the birds singing in my yard. Like, I didn't want to leave all that, to go back. But the economy really started scaring me. So we started taking my little joke more seriously, and I started talking to some recruiters. After a lot of consideration, I came to the conclusion that I would, in fact, go back on active duty under the condition that I got to keep my rank and that I got to go back exactly where I had came from in the military. So basically, just retransfer right back into my old job. And a recruiter made it happen, believe it or not. Um, they made it happen. I had to go back to MEPS, which is the medical, like, in processing thing, because I had been out just over 6 months. If it was just under 6 months, I wouldn't have had to go back. But sent me back to MEPS. I passed MEPS. At MEPS, they wanna make sure, you pass your height and weight. They wanna make sure, you don't have any drugs in your system or anything broken, I guess, whatever, you're able to do your job. And I passed. It was a whole mess, but eventually I passed. I think I needed a waiver for something. I don't remember what. Anyway, um, and then yeah, after the MEPS thing was done, it happened so fast. Before I knew it, I had orders and I was back in the military. Um, I never intended to stop Moonwater Minerals. That was never an option. I wouldn't even consider it, to be honest. Um, I kept ordering crystals. I kept selling crystals up until now. I'm still doing it. So I just scaled back a little bit. I stopped doing live sales as often. And like I had mentioned earlier, I stopped doing claim sales, which was huge. By not doing the claim sales, I have drastically cut my income as far as Moonwater Minerals. I have drastically cut that income, but I drastically improved my sanity. I no longer sit for hours doing live shows. I no longer have people claiming hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands, yes, it's happened, worth of crystals just to ghost me and not pay, which causes other people to be unable to claim those crystals because I'm banking on the fact that they're going to pay. I trust these people. And then what they do with that trust is sometimes different. Probably the biggest change is we went from a big, beautiful house on 3 acres to this little townhouse on base. Yes, I'm living on base. We decided to do that to save up some extra money. Um, Sharing a yard with other people. Which, by the way, I have 2 dogs, one of which is a Dalmatian, and she's very energetic, and she really misses her 3 acres to run. She can't do that here. Um, so yeah, sacrifices were definitely made. My kids are happier, I think, because there's a lot of kids here for them to play with. The schools are worse on base. Much worse. But you didn't come here to hear about that. You wanted to hear about my crystal business and how it changed. I, right now, am happy with the way I have changed and improved my business. Um, Instead of doing the live claim sales now, I've put a lot more energy into my mobile crystal boutique trailer, which is a 16-foot trailer. It's an enclosed trailer. We completely changed the inside. We did flooring, we put shelving up. It's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely check out some of my shorts. I have some videos in there showcasing the trailer. Huge, huge shout out to my friend Will who did all of the carpentry and the shelving. Huge shout out to my husband and his brother for doing the flooring. And shout out to my daughter. She helped me paint the inside. So I had lots of help. So now, while I'm not making six figures with Moonwater Minerals, I'm happier. I'm getting a better foundation for my business and I'm planning things for the future. Um, I'm looking to get a brick and mortar at some point um, when I'm no longer in the military, which I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to reenlist. I did a 3-year enlistment, um, and I don't know if the economy is getting more stable or not, but I definitely miss doing the crystals full time. I'm looking into some other avenues of expanding the business, like vending. More on that to come. And it's just about adapting to your environment and making changes. Um, I hired somebody for the first time ever. He's really great. He helps me with social media because now I have a lot of other things that I need to spend time on, like keeping up with my language. I'm a language analyst in the military, so I have to keep up with my language. Um, I have to keep up with a toddler he's 2, he'll be 3 in June. My 2 other kids. Um, so yeah, I've grown in that way. Um, I'm just doing it at a slower pace than I was before. And I am so much happier because in the end, for me, the business is an investment into not only my future, but maybe one of my kids' futures too. I would never force them or guilt them into taking over the business someday, but it's there if they need it or they want it. I know right now my daughter's interested in it. She comes to a lot of shows with me. Um, so who knows? Maybe she'll take it in the future. Maybe it'll be hers. So I guess to finish off this video, the last little thing I wanted to say is that if you are thinking about starting a crystal business, whether it be online or in person, or if you have one and you're just looking to scale it or change the way that you're operating things, it's what you make of it. It is 100% what you make of it. If you want to go big, if you want to get famous, if you want to have the most beautiful pictures on Instagram, you can do it. If you would rather, take a step back and use the extra income to, go on trips or invest in your future like I did, that's totally doable. It's okay to grow and grow and grow and grow, but it's also okay to take a step back if you need that break. Um, the internet is always changing. Social media is always changing. New apps are always coming out. Um, if you take a break on an app and you need, you know, a couple months or a year even, it's so easy to come back if you need to. Um, you'll get new followers. Your old followers will still be there. um, yeah, just take advantage of everything that is offered to you. Make sure you have a support system that is very important. And in the end, it's what you want. Don't try to be something you're not. Um, like my nails aren't done. So I don't have any of those cute pictures of my nail. I'm in the military. I don't have that. I'm not going to put on press on nails to take pictures of my crystals because that's not me. I try to stay true to myself. If that's you, that's so awesome because I love those pictures. It's not me. I'm a military girl, I have to be ready to go to the range or I don't know, do army stuff. So I really just I embody that. I'm wearing a military shirt right now. This stands for I got your six. I got your back. That's who I am. Stay true to who you are and you'll make six figures if you want to. And if not, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please make sure to give my video a thumbs up. Please make sure to follow. I'm really trying to get my followers up. I'd like to get to 100 by the end of March. I know that's not a lot, but to me, that's a lot. Um, and yeah, make sure you follow me on social media. All right. See you next time. Bye.